Good morning, good morning, good morning to you wherever you are at this time, whatever you're doing. Hope you're doing fine. Hope you had a great weekend. Yeah. The struggles, the challenges of another work week is upon us. The struggles are, and not struggles, is. Nonetheless, folks, it's 26 minutes on to 7 o'clock, and good morning to you once again, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Welcome to Good Morning Grenada for today, Monday. It's the final Monday in the month of August. Yeah, Monday, the 28th day of August. Could you imagine that? August done. I would surprise you all this morning, trust me. I have a pleasant surprise for you all this morning. Yeah, again, we've got to apologize to those of you who usually participate in the program, log into the program via our Facebook platform. We have still that problem, that technical issue that we are faced with since last week. We are working on it, but sometimes not everything goes as planned, you know, so just bear with us a bit. You can still access us via our YouTube platform, via the radio and the television, of course. So without much further ado or say, let's get with the program. Yeah, let's get to the word of the day. And before I get into the word of the day, I want to say a special good morning to Brother Finn and the family. Yeah, the Victor family out there in La Femme. And, you know, yesterday he was boasting, man. He was boasting and bragging. He felt like a youth yesterday because his son placed third in the decathlon, you know. Yeah, and he was saying, he told me, he said to give them a message. He said Lyndon's performance had nothing to do with the T-shirt or with the jersey. It had to do with the jeans. All right, you know, he was using pun with the words, not necessarily Jeans, but he was talking about his genetics, you know, where he got it from and so forth. I wonder if he could have played anything, boy, except All Fours. I know he's a bad All Fours player. Good morning to you, bro, and congratulations to you and the entire family, man. He made us all proud. Greater things are in store, I am certain of that. Yep. Good, so let's get to the word of the day now. The word of the day, it's a verb, it's an action word, it's a doing word. It is the word assay. A-S-S-A-Y. A-S-S-A-Y. Assay. It is a technical word meaning to test something, such as a metal or a drug, to find out what it contains or to assess its value. Assay. To test something, to find out what it contains, what it consists of, what are its components, what are its constituents, yeah, to see its value. Now, experts will assay the gold to determine its purity. That's one way we can use the word in a sentence. Write it down, jot it down, learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it. Most importantly, learn to use it in your writing or your speech, yeah? 23 minutes on to the hour of 7. The thought of the day today, Nadisha, good morning to you. That's Nadisha's favorite segment, and it would be not fair of me. You know, it would be remiss of me to not mention Nadisha whenever she usually uses them as her status, you know. All right, it says, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. That's a lovely one. That's a really, really lovely one. That's a real one, realistic. I'm certain you heard me say that all the time. A successful man is one who rises one more time than he falls. So if you fall 5 times, you gotta rise 6 times. Nice. Then you can say you were successful, right? Every time you fall, rise. Then you're a success. Do not give in to fear, all right? Remember, there are so many acronyms, so many meanings for fear. F-E-A-R, false expressions appearing real. Forget everything and run Face everything and rise. I love Face everything and rise. Yeah, I love this one. Fear. Buzzing this morning, it's a bronze medal for Lyndon Victor and a national record of 8,756 points. Thank you, Decathlon champion. Congratulations to your first world medal. The Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture applauds and your remarkable performance on the World Championship stage. Yeah. The congratulatory messages just keep coming. It says here with Prime Minister Mitchell, he congratulates the bronze medalist Lyndon Victor. He says, with a heart filled with pride, I extend my warmest congratulations to Lyndon Victor, a true Grenadian champion, for securing the bronze medal in the men's decathlon at the 2023 World Olympic Athletics Championships. This remarkable achievement is a testament to Lyndon's dedication, resilience, and unyielding spirit in pursuing excellence on the international stage. Having had the privilege of sharing a meaningful breakfast conversation with Lyndon earlier this year, as he was a member of Grenada's official delegation at the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III, he says, I was captivated by his determination and preparation for this very event. Congratulations are in order. All right. Grenada's Kimmani James has ended his 2023 attempt of adding another medal to his collection. The quarter miler ended his campaign in Budapest in 5th position, however, was subsequently disqualified for lane infringement. All right. Okay, there's another thing here that says, this is why Honorable Deacon Mitchell interrupted Honorable Peter David in Parliament. Okay, I guess there's a clip to play with this. All right, nice. So those are the buzzing stories this morning. This morning I will be joined by my good friend, media personality Curlan Campbell, and we will be looking at parenting or lack thereof. And he's coming prepared with all his statistics and so forth, that we can look at parenting in a general, general consensus sort of way. All right, quickly, good morning, Gordon and GBN staff. Do have a wonderful day. That's one of our WhatsApp contributors. I had the privilege of meeting her on Saturday night. Yeah, folks, that event, Turning Point, it was, oh my goodness, you missed it. You really missed something. Yep, you really missed something. Well, Turning Point 2 is coming up on the 30th of September. I am going and stand up by the venue since the day before. Okay. I'm just getting news there. I'm getting word. Good morning, innocent. Please pay tribute to Dennis Plummer, the great female Calypsonian. Rest in peace, Dennis. My sympathy for her family. Okay, Dennis. Well, the family. Be strong. Don't want to, didn't want to touch it as well, but seeing that you brought it up, I lost my grandmother yesterday morning as well, Yeah, I'm not going to stay there. I'm not going to dwell there for the moment. I've got my job to do. I'm going to do my job. Folks, this is where we take that break. We've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the weather forthcoming. And those of you on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of Friday evening's television news. Stick and stay with the network. We'll be with you right there. Don't you go anywhere. Right? Don't you move a muscle.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Thanks for joining us. Government has secured 89 acres of land for the construction of a climate-smart teaching hospital in Calavini, St. George. Here's the report.
The proposed new teaching hospital that the Deacon Mitchell-led administration announced in the 2023 budget will not be built on state lands, but on private lands that government has acquired. Government has now settled on 89 acres of land for the construction of a climate-smart teaching hospital in Calavini, St. George. This reflects government's attempts to fulfill its mandate of making the health and well-being of citizens a priority.
Government has negotiated and come to terms with Grenada Real Estate Corporation, which hitherto would have been known for the purposes of land as Grenada Distillers Limited. And the government has, and Cabinet has approved, the purchase of 89 acres of land from Grenada Real Estate Corporation located at Calavini, St. George, which will become the site of this new teaching hospital.
In June this year, a team of government officials visited the Calavini estate to get an appreciation of the location as a suitable site for the construction of the hospital. The Prime Minister said he is satisfied with the landscape, noting then that government's intent is to transform Grenada into the health capital of the Eastern Caribbean, which means the highest quality in healthcare facilities and services with access for all.
The purchase price for the land is $35 million. We have agreed to pay half of this in cash up front. The company has agreed to take the remaining half via bonds, which will be paid over a 7-year period. So it is not a case where, Mr. Speaker, it is all cash up front. We expect that all of the necessary legalese that comes with this will be concluded shortly so that we can get on, Mr. Speaker, with the nation's business of the construction of this hospital.
Christina John, GBN News.
Now, the Ministry of Education is still in the process of assessing preliminary results issued by the Caribbean Examinations Council. As of late Thursday, candidates have been able to use the CXC web portal to access their results for the 2023 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE, Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC, and Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence CCSLC. However, the Ministry of Education has informed GBN News that it is not in a position to release an official report, as it has not yet processed what CXC has made available to it. The Ministry of Education says it is also awaiting other information from CXC before officials can comment publicly on the results of examinations. Dr. Nicole Manning, director of CXC, during her presentation of the preliminary results, noted a significant increase in the number of candidate entries this year compared to that of last year, as well as the number of subject entries.
As As of late Thursday, candidates have been able to use the CXC web portal to access their results for the 2023 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, and Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, examinations. However, the Ministry of Education has informed our news desk that it is not in a position to release any official report, as they have not yet processed what CXC has made available to them. The ministry is also awaiting other information from CXC before officials can comment publicly on the exam results. Dr. Nicole Manning, director of CXC, during her presentation of the preliminary results, noted a significant increase in the number of candidate entries this year compared to last year, as well as the number of subject entries.
You're seeing where we have moved from 99,000 to over 101,000 for our subject entries, which is, of course, an important and significant move. Likewise, importantly for us, CSEC is where we would have seen that 106, I'm looking for the pointer, it's not working for me, yes it is, that 106,000, if you saw it, moving from the 103,000 mark for candidate entries last year. That is what gave us the hint of coming out of COVID. And so we're seeing a 10,000, over 10,000 actually, a little less than 10,000 increase on the candidate entry, as well as a more significant increase on the subject entry. So we saw an increase in CAPE to 14,044, coming from 5,449 subject entries in 2022, and likewise an increase in CSEC from 78,801 to 87,164.
The CXC director highlighted the performance of the candidates in the different subject areas.
Regional results, let me begin. You'll see that we are at the highest over the last 3 years. We're at 92.15% of candidates receiving acceptable grades from 2021 to 2023. And as Caribbean studies, we are seeing an increase to 97%. Of course, again, another increase, the largest amount over the last 3 years in terms of candidates receiving acceptable grades. Likewise, in terms of the percentage of grade 1s, you're seeing an 18% coming from 14 and 11 in the 2 previous years. French, we saw a 95% overall achievement for candidates sitting the French CAPE Unit 1, an increase of 17 to 19% on the grades 1. For French Unit CAPE Unit 2, we're seeing an overall performance of 99%, an all-time high from the last 3 years. Straight Unit 1, we saw 90% increase, greatest increase over the last 3 years, and likewise for Unit 2, we saw a 87% acceptable rate. Not as good as the Unit 1, but still very good work, I would say, by the candidates. Information technology. Information technology, 94%, an increase by 3% over the previous year. And information technology, Unit 2, stable at 96%. I think both Unit 1 and 2 we saw in the 90s, 96% for Unit 1 and 91% for the Unit 2.
Dr. Manning noted a significant level of absenteeism among candidates scheduled to sit exams.
Unfortunately, as we look at the candidate absenteeism, we look at it with a little disappointment, because as we see where we are seeing a reduction, there's still a need for concern as educators where candidates, as much as for Cape, 9,974 candidates absent from exams. These are candidates who would have been registered and for examinations and would not have turned up.
Christina John, GBN News.
Other news, the Ministry of Youth, Education, Sports and Culture has announced that it is on track to achieve a 100% implementation rate of its plans for the year 2023. Minister of State with responsibility for youth, sports and culture, Ron Redhead, revealed that with a dedicated team and a clear vision, the ministry remains committed to realizing its goals and objectives in the areas of youth development, education, sports and culture, having almost reached the projected threshold.
Well on track to at least end the year in terms of 100% implementing what we promised in nation. So, for example, my ministry talked about the cricket program. We were able to successfully launch that. We talked about the national policy on sports. We were able to successfully complete that. And as I said, it's in its formative stages. It's just some minor details that we're trying to get out of the way. And then there was one other aspect I don't recall, the transition of the Imani program. So that will take up a bulk of it, that 30% overall, which we still have some work to do to get it to where we need to be. So by and large, the ministry is on track with what we promised, and not just promised, what was presented in the budget and what is actually happening.
Minister Redhead attributed the 70% implementation rate for the year so far to the ministry's implementation of targeted programs and engagement with stakeholders aimed at empowering young people. Well, children up to 18 years of age can now benefit from dental care under the SEAL Grenada project, which will provide free dental services in St. David next week. President of Grenada Dental Association, Dr. Julie Dubois, said the one-week program aims to lessen cavities among children in Grenada.
Sad to say, just this week in the stadium, we had a 3-year-old. There was not one tooth that was not decayed. So this is our biggest challenge. The little ones with all this decay and sometimes infection, you have abscesses and all that, and it's not good. Children have lost their lives because of dental abscesses, because the mouth, the brain, and then you have this infection that spreads through the bone and all that, goes up in the brain, you have septicemia, and then we lose a child.
Justina Bartholomew, Health and Family Life Curriculum Officer in the Ministry of Education, shared the schedule.
We have 36 dental students from the University of Toronto in Ontario, Canada, with about 10 to 12 supervising dentists. Again, close to 600 procedures.
And on Monday, Corinth Government School, at Corinth Government School. On Tuesday, St. Teresa's RC and St. Dominic's RC at Corinth Government School. On Wednesday, St. David's RC at Corinth Government School. On Thursday, Pomeroy's RC or St. Joseph's RC at Corinth Government School. And on Friday, our last day, that's the last opportunity you will have this year, Friday, September 1st, Croshu RC at Corinth Government School. Remember again, parents, that you are free to attend. Now, notice I did not call Wester Hall Secondary or St. David's Catholic Secondary, but you are free to take your children to the clinic on any of those 5 days. Remember, it's important to seal the teeth for a smile tomorrow.
All right, so parents are being reminded that no child should be sent to the dental clinic without being accompanied by an adult. A separate dental care initiative was conducted at the stadium this week. Team leader and executive director of Great Shape Inc., Joseph Wright, gave an overview of the clinic.
We have 36 dental students from the University of Toronto in Ontario, Canada, with about 10 to 12 supervising dentists. Again, close to 600 procedures, and these procedures involve extractions, restorations, restoring diseased teeth, and also a lot of cleanings. A comment I like to make is that I wish we wouldn't have to do this, and the only way for us to prevent these extractions and restorations is to do what we're going to do next week, and that's essentially prevention, and sealants.
All right. Approximately 110 dental care providers from the U.S. and Canada have volunteered to be part of the program in collaboration with the Ministries of Education and Health and Sandals, Grenada. To access this service, appointments can be made via WhatsApp or by calling 421-6021. 421-6021. 2023-2024 School Uniform and School Supplies Assistance Program will continue using an electronic format as the Ministry of Education alerts parents to keep their eyes peeled for electronic confirmation codes. Beverly Telesford reports.
The Education Ministry has announced the launch of the 2023-2024 School Uniform and School Supplies Assistance Program. This program aims to provide support to students and families in need by ensuring they have access to essential school uniforms and supplies for the upcoming academic year. Minister for Education David Andrews said this year's assistance will be distributed via machine-readable codes. Vendors' training and installment of the machines have already been completed.
Now, this year we are very delighted that we are able to present this assistance in the form of machine-readable codes, better known as QR codes. And our vendors have been trained, and so there'll be additional information coming to you, the public, but the machines or the terminals are already stationed at the vendors.
Minister Andrews said beneficiaries must receive a confirmation text message or email containing the QR code from the Ministry of Education before they can begin shopping.
For those of you who have applied to the program, we alert you that you can begin shopping as soon as you receive your text message, your QR code that will come to you through text message. Note, I say through text message. And once you receive those, you are free to go to the vendors in your various communities across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique to have your purchases made. If you sent your application through emails, you can get your notification through emails as well. So you can get it through text or emails.
This is not the first time the vouchers have been dispersed electronically. Andrews said his government is committed to using this format.
At this point, we are very, very happy that we have been able to move away from the paper-based voucher. In fact, it was tried once before. So we are happy to be able to get back to this place as we move forward, as we move to an era where we capitalize and benefit from the technologies. We are moving in that direction. And so we are happy to embrace the machine-readable codes, the QR codes that are now being used and proposed.
The Education Ministry will keep parents and guardians updated about the program over the next 2 weeks. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
The story to report: the first quarterly night markets put on by Grenada Agro-Tourism Cooperative for local agro-processors has been dubbed a success. 41 agro-processors participated in the first expo at the St. George's Market Square on Thursday. The initiative was in keeping with government's plans to place greater emphasis on local food production. Vice President of the Agro-Tourism Cooperative is Bevan Charles.
We set out a 10-year strategy in terms of how can we get Grenadian products recognized globally to capture international markets. One of the opportunities that came to our table was the UNDP Grand Challenge, where we decided that a lot of agro-processors or even farmers themselves do not have a social media presence. So through that grant, we're now able to set up a website, also an e-commerce shop where locals, people in diaspora, clientele globally are able to process, research, and even purchase directly from the website Grenadian local products. The idea of the expo came about from that discussion. How can we expose Grenadian products? How can we give farmers and agro-processors a platform to showcase their products? And we decided to have a night market.
Some of the participants shared their interest in the event.
Grenada, we have to feed ourselves. Even when it comes to, we have so many medication, which is natural herbs here. We have to start using our herbs. You know, there is a lot, the world become a global village now. You can get on the internet and you can find out what this herb is helpful and what this is good for. And you know, there is so much could be learned.
The fruits really are healthy snacks. They have no additives, no preservatives, nothing added to it at all. And it's tastes really good, and it's also suitable for all members of the family.
The next step would be to include creative pieces, literature, novels and so on in the school's curriculum for English B, for English literature at the primary level as well as the lower secondary level.
Fit for Life Medical Services and Allied Laboratories is extending its services to Guelph St. John. The laboratory and medical services that will be offered at the new branch were officially introduced to the Guelph community during a health fair on Friday. Nisha Paul reports.
Residents of St. John and surrounding areas will soon have easier access to enhanced medical services. Fit for Life Medical Services and Allied Laboratories Limited is bringing to the community an extensive range of medical and laboratory services, including oncology, ophthalmology, surgery, and alternative services such as acupuncture, moxibustion, and cupping therapy. Director of Allied Laboratories and Fit for Life, Cecil Mitchell, says the company is elated to expand its wide-ranging services to the people of St. John.
So we would have started in St. George's approximately 5 years ago as Fit for Life Medical Services, and 3 years ago we would have started Allied Laboratory Services, where we would have brought a number of tests to the public in the St. George's Grand Anse area. So we're very happy today that we're now extending those wide range of services to this parish in St. John so that the people up here can benefit as well from.
Managing Director of Allied Laboratories Limited, Leonard St. Bernard, says the new services will be available as of Monday.
We would be offering doctor services 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. There would be a general practitioner here, and we would have various specialist doctors visiting based on appointment at least once a week per specialist. We would also be offering a full laboratory service here at Guelph, where we would be doing over 200 or more medical tests. At the bottom, we hope to complete that by next month, and we hope to also open a health shop.
The introductory health fair, which offered opportunities for free doctor visits, testing, and discounts on the cost of services, also saw the company giving back to the Guelph community in the form of school supplies. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Blossoming flowers are the attraction of this evening's GBN Eyesore. Stay with us.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
French marigold, grown locally, is the feature of tonight's GBN Eyesore. Marigolds are very easy to cultivate and they can grow rapidly, which generally makes them great for children or gardening newbies. These flowers need full sun all day to provide blooms all season long. Several species of marigolds are used for decorative purposes and are very popular all around the world due to their ease of growing. Blossoms can be orange, yellow, red, gold, copper, brown, brass, white, or any combination of those colors. The French marigold, as pictured, derived its name from its popularity in French gardens. A beautiful submission. Our ISOL line is open for your submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Get ready for the ultimate football showdown as Grenada takes on Suriname in the much-anticipated CONCACAF Nations League. Join the excitement on Friday, September 8th at the Curlan James Athletics Stadium. Secure your pavilion seats at just $30 or secondary stands for $20. School students, grab your seats in the secondary stand for $10. And remember, kids under 12 are absolutely free. Tickets available from Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, Heather's Boutique, Shy's Bar, Victoria, Kelly's Hotspot, Guav, Calico Shopping Center, Sutez, and GoToVet.com. Come see Grenada battle. Be there to witness history. Friday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Be part of the action. Be part of the pride.
So it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
My name is Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
Republic Bank CPL 2023 will be one for the books. The most exciting cricket series, the Caribbean Premier League, is back and bigger than ever. 34 games across 5 territories and only one channel in Grenada, GBN, bringing you live ball-by-ball coverage of the Republic Bank CPL 2023 on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, 20 on cable, from Wednesday, August 16th to Sunday, September 24th. 24th. Sponsors, get on board now. Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenada, and Hard On Plus.
OECS, this is your ocean. If I am to protect your future, we have to work together. It's the time to work together. If I am to help protect your future. Once I used to be so pure and clean, and those hills were so fresh and green. But now you see me as your dumping ground. The current situations have me choking on your pollution. Think hard about it. You will agree that really there is no you without me. Make the zero waste pledge, be responsible. Reduce your waste, recycle where possible. It's down to you, so make the commitment. Recycle for blue oceans and our betterment. Recycle OECS, green actions, blue oceans. For blue oceans and our betterment.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. It's 14 minutes gone past the 7 o'clock. It's the conversation, time for the conversation this morning. And as I hinted to you earlier, I am joined by my media colleague, Mr. the Honorable Curlan Campbell. How are you, bro?
I am wonderful. I'm blessed this morning. How are you?
I am blessed. How that sound? the favors of God, man. Yeah, and it's always a. We were supposed to have this conversation a while now, right after Carnival, but things kept popping up, and we did not have it. But your persistence and consistency at knocking for us to have it done shows that it is a burning topic in your head.
Yes.
And by extension, it's something that we ought to be paying particular attention to because it is a real topic. We're looking at dysfunctional parenting. And I'm gonna open the bat with you taking the first ball. All right, we're opening bad, but you're going to face the first ball.
Not a problem.
What caused you? What pushed that passion to have this discussion?
All right. First off, I want to say that based off of my experience and the dysfunctional family that I came from, my earlier bringings, made me understand the psychological effects and the residual effects of trauma and how parents could damage you permanently, right? To the point where I had to seek therapy myself a few years ago, and I'm at that point where I want to start a family, but I don't want to pass on that dysfunction to my children.
Okay.
So therefore, I must deal with it, right? So that's one of the reasons why I want to talk. Also, as a society, I realize that we are in denial. We see dysfunction in our society, and we allow it to escalate, and we say nothing. The people who know better don't even do better because we. Then it led me to, this point during the Juve activities. I had the opportunity to live stream Juve, and my friend who visited from Trinidad said to me, I saw a young mother in Juve, and she had an infant child in the Juve activities. Now, I'm talking about an infant child. I'm talking about like a baby, a baby that cannot walk. She literally had to hold that baby, right? Yeah. And I thought to myself, wow. So then Monday night mass, I saw that same individual again, and I saw a number of mothers with their impressionable children, minds, their young minds in the Juve activities in Monday night with loud music.
Yeah.
My watch was alerting me to get out because the music was so loud that it might damage my ear, and you have infant children there. That is a dysfunction. But then, before we could cast blame on people and say, oh, what happened to this young mother or teenagers, and this, that, and the other, we have to peel back the layers of our society to see where we went wrong.
Right.
And today we're going to have that conversation.
All right. Okay, I'm happy that you raised that topic, dysfunctional parenting. All right, and you highlighted that aspect of it with, the parents carrying the children to activities that are not children activities. But there are so many other dimensions,
of course,
where we see dysfunctional parenting.
Yes.
And one of the things I want us to do, because I know there are prominent parents out there who are in pain when they see the things that you see and the things that I see that we know are dysfunctional. But maybe due to the way society has become, where everybody minds their own business, it's no longer a situation where the village or the community raise that child.
Exactly.
So you're seeing as an elder in the society, you are seeing things that you would not have seen in your bringing up years, but because the society has changed so adversely that you now have a phobia to tell somebody about something that they're doing wrong, because or maybe you're afraid of the response, or you've just adopted that policy of MYOB, mind your own business. Yeah. So at some point in time, as we go along, I really would like to get the audience participation.
Of course.
You know the numbers that you can call in. But before we open the lines, we'd like to lay the base for the what are some of the dysfunctions that you want to allude to?
Right. Just so give me the opportunity just to flesh it out a little bit so we put context to this conversation. Now this topic is very complex, but I'll try to condense it to fit this program. Okay. So let's look at the history of family and the family structure. Just like you said, the concept of a village raising children, that comes from the mother continent, Africa. That's our tradition, right? We were disconnected from that during the transatlantic slave trade, when we weren't allowed to have the set of the type of family, the community family, the extended family that we normally had. However, we still was able to keep that tradition through. And I'll give an example. When you do historical research on slavery, you'd realize that if, as a mother, your child gets sold to another plantation, let's say in Barbados, there is a mother waiting for that to take care of that child. So they still kept that connection, even though they were disconnected. When we start seeing the decline, and there's a book called The Policing of Families by Jacques Doslow. We literally break down as to how the family moved from an extended to nuclear family to single parent, and now we have a concept of sibling, where children raising children. There's no parent in the home.
There's something that peeves me. It really peeves me when you talk with a young lady nowadays and she tells you that I'm a single parent. How does that happen? What did you have? Artificial insemination or something? Or you become a single parent?
But we see, what we're talking about is symptoms of a problem, not the problem in and of itself. It's symptoms. We deal with symptoms in isolation of each other, not realizing that it's a systematic thing that is causing the dysfunction and the breakdown of the family. Okay. Now we could talk about this conversation from different perspective, from the religious perspective, a health and education, economic, social, historical perspective. Let's look at the historic perspective.
Okay.
Right? And I want to bring up some terminologies here. One, post-traumatic slavery disorder.
Big one.
All right. Multi-generational trauma. All right. Social learning theory, where we learn from our environment, and if you have dysfunction around you, you're going to pass it on. And then we're going to speak about learned helplessness. Now, these are psychological terms. These are psychology. We're dealing with psychology. We're not dealing with opinions here. There's a doctor called Dr. Joy DeGruy. She's the foremost expert with regards to post-traumatic slavery disorder. She actually coined the term. Right. She did research to show that our historical past and the traumas that we have endured over the years from slavery come right up to this point. We pass that on to our children, and we never take the time to heal. So a lot of dysfunction that we have normalized is trauma.
And they're haunting us.
And they're haunting us now today. But the thing is, we pretend that it doesn't exist. We all have the psychosis where that's just normal.
Man up.
Yeah, man up.
Man up. Come on, that's the past. And we fail to understand the significance and the strength that this traumatic experience have on us.
But we've been sold the idea, and let's deal with just a breakdown with the family. We were sold the idea that having smaller families is better. It's more modern. Now realizing we put ourselves in a monkey pants.
In a monkey pants.
Because we were sold, because corporations back in the 50s and 60s, they advertised in the nuclear family, and that brought a breakdown to extended families. And no, hold on. Now we're going back to the topic of dysfunctional parenting here, Innocent. So here's the thing, right? Back then, teenage pregnancy is nothing new. So young people making children is not nothing new. However, the difference is the maturity level of those people. Back then, people had a higher maturity level compared to today. Remember, there's a dysfunction. So we stop pass on these traditional values and norms.
Yeah.
So systematically, it's like people, eventually become adult children.
There was a vacuum. There was a vacuum. So the knowledge, the experiences were not
passed on. Because remember, when you're in an extended family, you learn from your grandmother, your great-grandmother. You learn from everybody. So you have to do those different experiences. But now we're only learning from probably even single parent and no siblings.
Did you have to go there and call grandmother's name? Because I grew up with my grandma, who subsequently passed yesterday morning.
Oh no, yes sir.
Yeah, no.
No,
but that's fine.
That's fine.
Fine.
I hope you're seeking therapy.
I don't think I need that because as Blossom Alexis would say, I preparated myself for that.
Oh no, okay, I understand.
She lived a full age in a late 90s. So, but I say this to say that in as much as my life hasn't been a perfect life, but the person that I have become is when I went back to some of the teachings that she gave. Some of the love, some of the care, some of the ideas, I mean, it's just a couple of weeks ago I was disclosing right on this program that my favorite sleeping position was not with my thumb in my mouth, but I would lay across her lap with one hand in her bosom and the other one pulling on her ears.
Oh wow, and you have that memory, imagine.
You understand?
Yes,
that's how I slept.
Right.
And but again, there came, going back to the
dysfunction,
point.
yes.
The dysfunction came when
we bought into the lie.
We bought into that system of the smaller family and this single parent thing, and the parent got so busy having to provide, and so they did not have that much time to spend disseminating the knowledge and so forth. So that vacuum, that generational gap came in.
Yeah. Largely, when you look at even why men don't take care of their children, all of that stems from slavery. That's the residual effects of slavery. We've learned those behaviors because it's been passed on. Nobody stopped it. If I am destroyed mentally, I would pass on that trauma to my children, and they will actually take that trauma to a new level.
Yeah.
This is what we're having today. So let's define what is post-traumatic slavery disorder. Like I said, it's the residual impact of generations of slavery and how it impacts our behavior today. How did the experience of slavery affect parenting and the family? This is a question that we're asking now. Now, based on what Dr. Joy DeGroot said, she gave this scenario, and we're going to link it back to slavery and bring it forward. Right. So let's give an example. Do you know that our parents denigrate us to protect us? They denigrate us. When your mother is mad at you, or your father is when your mother is mad at you, she will say to you, "You worthless, just like your
father." Yeah.
Hold on, we're going in, innocent. We're going in, right. So where did that behavior came from? Dr. Joy DeGroot gave this scenario. You have a black mother and a white mother. Both have two children. A son and both the two parents have a boy child in the same school. Both of them are doing very well. So the black mother goes over to the white mother and says, your son is doing quite well in school. The white mother will say, yes, he's doing quite well. His father is an astronaut. He's a part of the science club. She's very proud of her son. Yeah. Right. But she realizes, she looks over and says, but your son is excelling over my son. Just as well. But then here's what the black mother would say. Oh, girl, yeah, but oh my gosh, he's troublesome. He's miserable. Where did that behavior came from? Let's go back. Hold on, we're going back in slavery. Now, say the same scenario on the plantation. The black mother is working in the cane fields or in picking cotton in the U.S. or whatever the case is, and she have her children around her, and the slave owner or the slave oppressor walks and says, "Oh, your son is doing quite well. He's promising." What do you think the mother would say?
Yeah.
She will denigrate him.
Yes.
She will degrade him. Why? Because she's trying to protect him, because she don't want him to be sold. However, we did not unlearn the behavior. Now, that is called appropriate adaptive behavior while living in a hostile environment. So that is understood. You're trying to protect your child. You don't want it to be sold, your child to be sold.
It wasn't intent.
No.
It was intentional, but not with negative implication.
But however, we did not learn the behavior. So today we still do it. But here's the thing. So the son of the white mother is looking at his mother and like, wow, my mother is proud of me. Yeah. The black son is looking at his mother like, why are you not proud of me?
Yeah. What have I done?
What have I done?
What I do wrong again?
There is a secret. We hold a secret. But the thing is, by the time that child learns the secret that his mother is actually proud of him, he's already damaged by it. We don't have those types of conversations. Then we have to deal with how we pass on trauma through our genetics. Now, this is science. This is not my opinion. Well, let's deal with the science. Epigenetics. There's a study where they did with rats. So what they did, no, not rats, mice, sorry. So they took the mice and they will spray peppermint and they will shock the rat. They did that over a period of time. Eventually, all they had to do was spray the peppermint and the rat will respond. When the rat had children, when the rat had babies,
mice.
When they spray peppermint, the babies responded. Now, the babies did not endure the trauma of being shocked, yet still they have the genetic memory of their parents. That is scientific. Do your research. Don't believe nothing that I say here. That is when they realize how trauma affects people over generations. Generational trauma, we pass it on.
Genetics.
Genetics. No, that's one way. Social learning theory, remember we defined that we're going to talk about social learning theory. We learn from our environment. So if you're dysfunctional as a parent, you pass on that dysfunction to me, and then I pass that on to my children, and then it's like a snowball effect. So
wow.
So let's have
it's important. It's audience. It's important that we pay particular attention to this conversation. And as a matter of fact, I'll try to have it as regularly as possible, because I am of the opinion that this media is sometimes losing its purpose, in that it's not all about the nice music and the entertainment and so forth. But I feel better when someone listens to a program, a schedule, and get entertainment but also good information. So I try my best to make this a staple. But what we do, Curlan, let's take our first commercial break.
By all means.
And we have a caller already, but we will take that commercial break. Caller, you'll have to call back. We're going to be on point this morning. We're going to take that commercial break, and then we'll come back. It's 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. The Conversation. I'm speaking with Curlan Campbell.
The Ministry of Tourism and Economic Development and the Grenada Tourism Authority extend a warm welcome to visitors and returning nationals visiting for Carnival and summer vacation. We do hope you enjoy your stay with us, and we invite you to return with friends and family to celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence on 7th February 2024. Tourism is my business, your business, our business.
Hi, good day. My name is Kyle Sylvester. I am the manager and founder of Case Farming Enterprise. We're an agro-processing business that are involved in the processing of agricultural goods, where we do bottle seasoning packs, lettuce, kale, and broccoli. Sometimes we as human beings get sick or injured on the job. NS provides a safety net for us. I am here to encourage other entrepreneurs and self-employed persons to sign up under the NIS Self-Employment Program.
The Grenada Dental Association, with support from the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Great Shape Inc., Spice Isle Smiles Foundation, and Sandals Foundation present Seal Grenada, sealing children's permanent teeth between the ages of 6 to 18, from August the 28th to September the 1st, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily at the current government school in St. David. For more information, call 421-6021. Seal today. Prevent decay tomorrow.
biggest party in sport is back. CPL and WCPL return with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me?
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Brilliantly. Celebrate some more.
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlag, and Hard On Plus.
Cricket fans, here's your opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Republic Bank CPL Final in Guyana, inclusive of airfare and hotel accommodation in the TV6 Republic Bank CPL Trivia Contest. There are also weekly prizes of tickets to the Republic Bank CPL matches and branded merchandise from TV6 and the Caribbean Premier League. To enter, simply download the TV6 app from the Google or Apple Store. Click on the TV6 RBL CPL Contest tab, answer the weekly trivia question, and submit your electronic entry form. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Download the TV6 app to be a winner.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. I'm speaking with the Honorable Curlan Campbell this morning. He likes that. You like that?
I've done the same. We'll talk about.
Yeah. You plead the fifth. You like that? Let's entertain the caller. As a matter of fact, before we bring the caller live, someone says here, where is it? Someone just said, okay, this morning conversation is priceless. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. All right. Okay. Friday's conversation on education was just as valuable. I hope this is the beginning of a weekly program. Colin, that's what we were talking about.
That's what we're just talking about, right?
Behind the scenes, yeah? Let's take this caller. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Innocent. How are you doing?
I ain't do it yet, but I go do it, you know.
Well, listen, good morning to Mr. Campbell. Excellent topic this morning. But Innocent, when you topic on morning time is so enlightening, educating, later on in the morning it'll come and be something else, you know. But I hope that is not the point this morning.
Listen to me. Before you proceed, let me interrupt. All right? I am only able to do what I can.
And you're doing it very well.
I do not know about that. You be the judge of that.
I know because I just listen to you.
But go ahead, please.
But you know, what Mr. Campbell mentioned is very, very important, and it's a lot of truth in it. Because if you check on the way that the estate workers with the family, you come in with your grandmother and the estate. Your mother start making children, all the children in the houses, and instead of some genetic thing in this body, in the family, does pass down. So this is very true. The next one, these days, my brother, it's easy to help somebody with their children. You hear what Mr. Campbell mentioned concerning in the Juve? You go to talk to this parent, you know how they lacing you up. But in my days, when I know it's true, I lacing you back up too. But these days, to go on with the bacchanal and back and forth, so sometimes I rather to just leave them like that.
Okay.
But what I would like an organization to pick up, that you see things like that, you get the information, the mother name, you might not sure of the age, but you give a age of the child and what, and then they follow up and get in contact with that parent. Let them know what they're doing is not right, and you give them a warning. And if they repeat that situation, you charge them a heavy fine. So I feel that might be able to help parents know where the children should lime and where the children shouldn't lime.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, to be honest, I'm saying...
Why the goosebumps?
Okay, the reason why I have goosebumps because sometimes when you take these punitive measures against people, it's like you make the problem even worse sometimes, you know? So I believe that there's a scientific approach that needs to be taken where you deal with people based off of... from a scientific perspective, like you don't guesswork this, you know, but you have to do the work. You have to start a healing process. And how do we start a healing process? We need to have the conversation. Imagine we came up to this point after slavery, after all the traumas, the revolution and everything. and we did not have a conversation of healing. Nobody got therapy.
But you see, I think too, Curlan, this is because of the way we were cultured.
Cultured, exactly.
Because, for example, a very, very simple contradiction. We tell our boys not to cry. Big man, as you're crying over that, man up.
Man up.
So it pushed that narrative as though we were not supposed to be feeling.
Yes, we don't.
We emotionless.
Yes, that is the expectation.
Yeah. We have another caller. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Innocent, and morning, Mr. Campbell. Is
good morning. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Two things he said, and I want to. First of all, I want to endorse most of what he said because this is the things I've been trying to get you to deal with, Innocent, over the months. Even when I talk about the issue of emancipation, leading up to emancipation, when I try to influence you to do something on that. But let me say, he's right. In fact, it has been established that trauma can go as much as 14 generations. 14. So a lot of stuff like happening because we have not worked on it. Just imagine the ARD, that's the Agency for Reconstruction, that's the agency that was established after Hurricane Ivan, did a document, a manual on psychosocial dealing with a disaster. And it was never used. Every time I tried to raise the issue, this was just left unused. I'm saying is that unless we take a serious approach, and here is one of the words he used, pretense. We pretend, but we not only pretend, we deny. We deny and we pretend. We deny we're not that, we're not that, we're not this, we're this, and then we pretend that we are not. And then there's the other word he used, we don't discuss. I've been saying that what we need is dialogue to help each other understand the dilemma or the predicament we are in.
Okay.
And this soundbite solution we will try to, give people. The other thing about it, Innocent and Mr. Campbell, even GBN is not contributing to the healing. If you take a forensic study on GBN, you'll see they're contributing to the perpetuation of our pain in a lot of ways.
Okay, caller.
So,
all right.
I'm glad that we started the conversation. I hope it continues.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. Sometimes this caller gives me the impression that he expects so much more from the media houses, but we're just a media house. We can do as little as we can, but Anikis, I'll play the fifth on this one. One of our contributors via our WhatsApp, my good friend, I will not call her name. She says, "Good morning, Innocent. Good morning, Curlan. Very important topic. One of my pet peeves. Very important and factual points raised by Curlan. The aspects of post-slavery trauma is real and needs attention. I think our young mothers need to be taught about parenting when they attend antenatal clinic, and not only about their physical health and the health of the baby. They should also encourage the fathers to attend the clinic with the mother, and hopefully those conducting the sessions would be transformed in thought, counseled, and repaired. Discussions like this should be in a public face-to-face session." I know you're anxious to get back in your thing, but let's take this other caller.
Of course, yeah.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I am good. Welcome to the program.
All right, thank you. I was listening to the program Friday morning. Sorry about that. And being so interested, it caught my attention, and certain words started ringing a bell in my head when I heard about education, right? To my understanding, the word education comes from the root word to edify, right? Which means to more or less to enlighten a person, right? Or to have a person be enlightened. And I was wondering, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, if the original intent for education, if it is not to restore, to bring back a person person to present information that could lead a person to the intent of their maker, because we have lost that focus, we have lost that compass, and here we have to use education or information more or less to inform us as to even where we are, where we need to be, and how to get there, and so forth. And the one doing that, the teacher per se, need to be gifted and already pre-enlightened with that information, so that there will be a proper transmission of the information, so that education will be properly applied, so that the individual could be on their own. Once they have come back to that place, they have recognized and the life and the cycle of information, and life goes on because of education, information, sharing of the information that would lead to the whole life that God intends us to be living.
Okay.
Because I know we could get information that is wrong, we could get education that is that could lead us down the drain, but really and truly the true intent of education is to enlighten someone as to who they are, who they're supposed to be, and the creator and all this kind of thing based on what I am. Based on what I am gathering. So that is my comment.
Thank you very much. Curlan?
Okay. I was wondering why he didn't address the topic. Yeah. but what he said, I understand and accept it.
You know what, Curlan? Yes. I definitely, based on the comments that we are seeing on our WhatsApp platform, I am definitely going to try to have this conversation every Monday morning.
Please.
It's a good way to start the week.
Good way to start the week.
Miss McDonald, you with us? She's always with us.
So, just very quick, let's just try to because I know time is against us. So, let's look at corporal punishment, right? Obviously, corporal punishment, we inherit that. This is something from the plantation. Now, we beat our children into submission so that they would not have that fighting, the will to fight against the people who are also oppressing us on the plantation. But again, we never unlearn the behavior. So say for instance, I beat you into submission, right? So that to save you, so that you wouldn't disrespect the slave owner, because he will kill you. We never unlearn the behavior.
So are you insinuating that that's where corporal punishment arrives?
Well, no, what I'm saying is that it's a complex topic, but we're looking at the circumstance that we were placed under, and we're seeing that why would you put your child sit down on a grater as a punishment?
And in the antness.
And in the antness. Like if let's say we were beating children to so-called discipline.
Well, beating is a strong word. I like to use the word punishing.
Punishing? Yes. Well, you see, just semantics, just words we use. But do you understand what I'm saying? That's torture. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people say, oh, well, I got licks, and here I am, I come out this upstanding citizen. I'm like, you became an upstanding citizen despite the licks, not because of it.
Okay, I like this. I like this.
You understand what I'm saying? We have to re-socialize the way we think and the way we analyze things, because sometimes we tend to treat, like I said, symptoms of a problem and not the disease in and of itself.
Good.
We treat symptoms in isolation of each other. So therefore, further compounding the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you alluded to one of the ills that you physically saw as it relates to dysfunctional parenting.
Yes.
The treatment of infants and babies and so forth. What are some of the other ills that you are seeing?
Okay.
There's a plethora of them.
Of course, a lot.
So let's touch one.
I would condense it. Okay. Yeah. So another dysfunction that I've noticed. Let's look at a single parent household where the mother is the head of the household. We have a lot of that in Grenada. I can't remember the statistics.
Hatefully so.
Yeah, hatefully so. That should never be. Yeah. That should not be normalized. However, because it's systematic, it's normalized. Anyway, so you have a mother, have two children, a boy and a girl. This is how she treats both of them. The girl is overly disciplined, and she does not get enough love. Now remember that young girl does not have a father figure to give her that masculine validation, that fatherly validation, right? So she's wash the wares, clean the house, learn to cook, blah 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 blah. The son, on the other hand, is given too much love and not enough discipline. So then when mommy says, go and wash it, where's Jimmy? Jimmy go say, mommy, man, I would wash that later, man, when I'm ready. Here's what happens, right? There is no consequence for bad behavior. However, if the girl says she don't want to wash it, there's consequence.
Yeah. She get a slap.
You're right. But then here's where the dysfunction happens. You are raising your son to not know when to do something when it's supposed to be done, even though he don't want to do it at all. That's what discipline is. Knowing when to do something when it has to be done, even though you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's discipline.
Doing the right thing.
Even though you don't feel like it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right. So the young girl will grow up thinking, why mommy didn't love me?
Yeah.
The truth and in fact, the mother did love her and tried to prepare her for the harsh realities of life, because that mother did not have a father in the home.
Yeah.
But then the son now grows up looking for a woman to treat him the same way mother treated him.
And he can't get it. So he resorts to physicality.
So we have to use... it's more complex than that, but I'm trying to condense it for this program so we get at least an idea.
Don't condense too much. We'll have part 2 and 3 and 4. Let's take a call. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you. I'm trying to get on to Innocent and Curlan.
This is the program.
Okay, all right. I'm interested in your topic this morning. Dysfunctional parenting.
Dysfunctional parenting.
But in extension to that, I would really like you to touch on restorative practices.
On what?
Restorative practices.
Restorative practices.
Yes. You could do it another morning.
Well, of course, we have to, because this is a topic all by itself.
Right. And it coincides and it is in sync with what you are talking about this morning, because rather than punishing a child and, as we say, the corporal punishment, there are other ways we can use to discipline our children and really get them to be the citizens that we want them to turn out into later on. All right?
Okay. Thank you very much. And when that day that we are going to have that topic, I expect you to be a very prominent feature of the program, right?
Once I have the time, I'm going back to school this morning. I'm a teacher.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Good. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Colin, let's take our final commercial break, and then we come back and do the final segment of the program.
Sure, no problem.
I want to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Records at the traffic department shows that a total of 1,447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming. When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
Wait to see my granddaughter.
Welcome back. It's 8 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Final 8 minutes on the program this morning. And Curlan, I must say, I am happy that we finally got that program started. And based on the comments and the responses, I think it has to be a staple. Yeah,
I agree.
I think it has to be a staple. We'll try our best to do that. Let's take this caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent, and good morning, Mr. Campbell.
Morning.
I very much appreciate the program, and another thing to say that I can substantiate. But my position is, if we want a person to be transformed, to be changed, first of all, we must know who we are, where we come from, who made us, why did he make us, what does he want from us. We must know ourselves. And if we begin to teach our children that they are not just something that the mother made, they are people that come from a creator who cares, and his word, what he has dictated for human beings, must be taught. So when we know who we are, and we know we come from a caring God who loves us and who has a plan for us, we will stick to that. What we have when a woman is pregnant, we call it thing a zygote, a fetus. So we devalue it from birth, from before it's born. They are zygote, and when they're born, we call them kid. What do we expect? They don't have no value. They're like an animal like any other. So we have to change the way we teach them, what we teach them, and how we teach them. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. I agree. Colin?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with the call, and I appreciate the contribution. So
before you go on,
yes.
Quick, Colin, can you tell me how some of this practice links to the Bible, like bend the tree while young, honor your master, just a few?
Well, look, all right, let's be honest. There's a part in the Bible that speaks about spare the rod, spoil the child, or something.
Yes.
I can't look.
Do not spare the rod
and spoil the child. Yeah. All right. No, that was used by the slave oppressors to legitimize beating slaves. So I will leave that to the public whether that is wrong or right. No, I don't think that there is a caring God that will put that in a Bible. So I will leave it at that.
Colin, you open that
I'm just saying. So I wouldn't go too further into that, but that person actually has a point.
Yeah, from there on, plead the fifth on that one. Okay? Plead the fifth there.
Yeah. Right. So
let's talk healing.
Let's talk healing now. Yes, let's talk healing.
In 2 minutes.
Yes, in 2 minutes. Right. So prior to coming on this program, I asked some of my friends, how do you know that your parents love you? And they would be like, yeah, I know. I said, well, how do you know? They say, well, yeah, based on what my parents did for me, they provided and so forth. But I said, did your parents ever told you that they love you? Verbalize it. They say, no, in truth, no. I don't know when last my mother tell me or my father tell me I love you. Yeah. And that is a dysfunction. So we have good parents who are dysfunctional as well. So it's not only about the drastic situation where a young mother will bring her child to juve.
Curlan.
There are good parents who are dysfunctional as well.
Let me tell you something. We are good from way back, right? You and I have a good thing going. Somebody sent you here this morning because I keep saying it. My grandmother grew me up from 6 months, right?
Right.
She passed on yesterday morning.
May she continue to rest in peace.
But perfect peace, I really hope that somebody wouldn't have. I kept saying, now that I've learned, I've gone through the process, a whole lot of life transformational processes, and mommy loved me to the core. She gave me everything that I wanted, but I have never heard her say, Gordon, I love you. I knew she loved me because of the things that she did.
We need to give ourselves permission to tell our children that we love them. The reason why we don't do it is because, again, it's generations of trauma that we back in slavery, you couldn't get connected to your children because they could be easily sold. So you had to mentally prepare yourself that there's a possibility that you may lose them. We never unlearned the behavior.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
We have a caller. Let's say I don't want to dwell there too long. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning to you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Right, very, very good topic. Well, I'll tell you something. I have children, and I train my children the way my mother trained me. They're not here. The way my mother trained me. And so they are balanced. They will never hurt anybody. But I'll tell you something, we're stuck in class system, and that's why we have that problem. We're stuck in the class system, and we seem not to know how to get out of this class structure there, where, okay, I'm racing to the top to behave X. Yeah, and I believe, whilst we may say the children have a problem, you ask the question, which one comes first, the chicken and the egg? And the chicken comes first. Yeah? The adult's supposed to take the lead. I don't care what people say. You could say slavery as much as you want. I will say the individual, because you have a brain. And if you could learn to pass subject area, to put new things in your head, you can maintain the old ways. So the adults and leadership have to take the lead to ensure that we stamp that out. It's because the leaders, the adults, do not want to change, right? They remain in their old ways, and they decide, well, look, I am me, and I'm going to stay here. The younger ones follow. Okay. But if the adults decide to change their ways, and to behave as we behave in yesteryear, I believe we're going to have much better children. So my thing is the adults.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I totally agree. I don't like the word train though. You train animals. You teach children. But anyway, that's just me. Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent and Mr. Campbell. Why lots of focus on the mothers and not the fathers? Let me tell you something. Do you ever wonder the slave master has a son and he has some slaves who are old and his son? You know what happened? The slaves must address the master's son. Mister, when you install certain attitudes in people, it is really hard to break off. There are a lot of young parents, and we must have respect for God Almighty.
Yes, I'm sorry for that we didn't mention the fathers, but when I'm speaking dysfunction throughout the family. I'm talking about men are dysfunction and women are dysfunctionals. So we need a topic where we could flesh out the gender dynamics.
Yeah.
Dysfunctions in women and dysfunction in men.
Curlan, we have to end here. Good morning, Innocent. Love is an action word, so why is not what you say? So it's not what you say, it's what you do. You can say I love you and do differently. That is true.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that is true too. My condolences, Innocent. Thank you very much. Curlan, this is the prototype.
Yes.
For an excellent program going forward, and we look forward to future engagements. And like I said, I'm happy that you were persistent in knocking, and we finally got it off. Based on the responses that we've had, I know that this program is going to be on for a while with your availability.
Yes.
There are times we will pull in other resource personnel.
Of course.
I would love to have some children on the program as well to see how they feel loved or unloved.
Unloved. Yeah, you would be surprised of some of the things that children would see. Yeah.
But folks, this is where we've got to wrap the program for today. We've got to join the BBC, which is 30 seconds away. So thank you for your participation. Curlan, once again.
Thank you so much, man.
High five. High five. And we look forward to another program. Thank you very much. I love you. Bye-bye.